Great rise of beautiful beings, great rise of beautiful beings. This is revereskye's essence. I got my fly swatter. I'm still waiting on that day. That the day of cockroach. Sit on the wall and just look at me like an alien. Yeah. Palmetto bug, water bug. It feel good to call it a palmetto bug, but the motherfucker's a swamp roach. Okay? Well, anyway. I know they could come up through the drain in the washroom. I don't know how it's a pipe. How they get in the pipe. So I guess they go from the sewage up the pipe to your house. Because the pipe ain't got no hole in it. The pipe access to the sewage, right? Okay, boom. And they definitely not going to be in the main water line because they're going to drown. I just don't understand. They water bugs, but they want to come in a dry environment. It ain't adding up. But it's different species. So the darker ones are docile. They'll fly around, but they docile. Okay. Then you got them motherfucking red ones. Look like they from Asia or something. They red. The motherfucker high red. And they look like they want to fight. They're a different breed. They look like, I don't think they may, or maybe the female is the red one and I don't know. But I know they two different species. And that one just look at you like, yeah, bitch. Right. But, yeah. So, they must know I'm home today, but one was above the bed. And I had got a broom and hit him. He was just sitting there, standing there. Like he was some type of technology or something. Like I don't know. I know they telling on this. That's all I can say. I be ready to kill. Well, I'm enjoying myself. I seen some weird shit. I'm driving. And it's a big ass tree in the road. First, I didn't even see the tree. All I seen was wood chips. And I'm like, do I want to dodge the wood chips and go to the left? And I realized I couldn't go to the left because the tree was in the road. Then after I stayed on the wood chip side and looked to the right, it was a pickup truck with the light still on, face first in the woods. And then there was some white man standing out there at the back of the truck, but there wasn't no car stopped, so I was assuming that was him. And I felt bad for him. I didn't know. You don't know if you calling the police and you about to get them fucked up, or you calling the police, you about to save their life. But I wasn't about to stop. I was not about to stop. So I did help assist in case somebody thought he was joking, because there was nobody out there, no rush whatsoever. And they had so many events today that it was busy. It was busy. They had so many events today. It was busy. Like, I'm trying to get into Walgreens. This bitch say you can't turn into Walgreens. So they had the route. Like, why you just couldn't route the marathon from Amelia Island to Ponte Vedra? Why the hell they got to run through, ride their bike through Jacksonville? That shit was crazy. Give the beach something to do. Give the beach something to do. Hey. Because them folks out there, they live for that little shit like that. Had the whole city shut down. Had us sitting in traffic like we care. I ain't lying. I gotta make my own music. This can't play music unless you want to. get monetized. It's that bullshit. Y'all, thinking about this bottle. I remember when I had my neighbor. My neighbor ain't been around for a long time. So when my neighbor showed back up, he was, I guess, in a vehicle with a female. I didn't know what was going on. It could have been a nigga because he'd be running. I hand him the motherfucking, I hand her the bottle, but he know it's for him. He came back to my house empty-handed and let that bitch leave with my motherfucking bottle. I said, no, you can't come in here. Oh, I can't twist it, y'all. Oh, why is it so hard? Oof, that hurt my hand. But I don't think. Dang. Y'all see that big motherfucker? I don't know. Hey, I don't know. But like I said, I'm not going to fake no funk. I ain't about to run and go kill it. Long as the motherfuckers stay away from me because they die in 2 days. Unless, dang, they trying to do to the ball. That shit was crazy. And y'all, it's a reason why my phone stay on Do Not Disturb. Hey, baby, we got us some bubbles. We got us some bubbles. Look pretty clear, don't it? It smell good. Pretty clear. Y'all, yeah, it's a reason why my phone stay on Do Not Disturb. People be calling me, bothering me. And then they call you. You say you'll call them back in 20 minutes. Motherfucker don't answer the phone, I'll call you back. So what is it like? Tag you it? Come find me. Bitch, no. No, motherfucker. I be minding my business, though. That's all you can do is mind your business. Now, there's a helicopter. There is some weird shit, though. They coming from the northeast. Yeah. And they headed south. It was something I was about to say. They love throwing a bitch off. Can't even think straight. What I was about to say? I do know one thing. Let's change the subject. So my microwave has a moisture sensor and a keypad on it. Now, I've been in this place almost 4 years. I have not used that microwave 100 times. Guest, mama, friend, whoever used the microwave. That microwave has not been used 100 times. I'm going to post a video. I'm asleep. All I know, I hear unfamiliar beeping noise. I wake up out my sleep. I'm looking at both phones. Ain't no phone going off for no alarm. I'm looking at the damn, the house alarm. Ain't nothing going off. So I hear the beep and I'm curious. It's strange to me. What's going on? It's a big ass boat parked back there behind my house at the store. I say, who big ass motherfucking boat? The goddamn microwave got an error code. Now look, it it would be all right if I came in the house from work and the microwave was beeping with an error code, right? No, this motherfucking microwave been working all week. I've been turning it on and off with the fan and the light. All I know, I walked in the house at 10 o'clock. First thing I do is turn that stove light on. Went and took my shower, went to bed. 1 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock, whatever. Beep, beep. So I Googled the code, E11. And you know, I'm thinking it's spiritual. And then that big ass boat out there too. What the fuck going on? Who left their boat in the hood? You'll be amazed what you see out the interstate. So, it tell me that the moisture sensor gone out or either the keypad. I need to reset it. I need to unplug it or click the breaker. They designated that motherfucking microwave for its own breaker. Nothing else is on that breaker but that motherfucking microwave. And I'm like, oh wow, it got its own throne. So I turned the breaker off about an hour and come back. That motherfucker start back beeping again. The only button I could press is number 4. How a microwave you don't use stop working? But I do use it for the vent and the light. So I'm assuming that since I'm always boiling stuff, like I'm boiling collard greens, I'm boiling this, I'm boiling that, maybe it got some moisture. So I opened the microwave up, let it air it out all night, flipped it back on, the breaker back on, still got the error code. And it even said it's either your moisture sensor or your touch screen. Why would you put this touch screen on my motherfucking microwave? I ain't never seen a microwave do it before. Well, anyway, I don't want the microwave no more. I want to get an industrial stainless steel vent hood to go right there. Because I want a pretty vent hood. If I could find a vent hood that will fit up in there, I'm moving that shit out. That microwave could go somewhere else. That microwave could go in that room back there. It ain't got to be up there. I just want a vent hood and a light so it could suck the fragrance or scent or the food up out of here. Yeah, they full of shit. They full of shit. I don't use the microwave. I use that microwave to scald something. I'll wash something like a mason jar and I put it in there and I turn it on and I let it nuke the hell out that jar. Other than that, I don't use the microwave. I eat the food cold. I just don't use it. I think the cell phone has enough microwave properties. We ain't got to do all that. And I hope that dude all right. So yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to be looking for a vent hood that'll fit. A stainless steel vent hood that'll fit up there. And I'm going to remove the microwave. Because how the fuck I don't use the motherfucker, now the motherfucker don't work. That's stupid. That's stupid. So what are y'all up to? So I'm ready to do another meditation session. So I reached out to everybody on my channel about a meditation session in Daytona. Nobody showed up. I guess y'all just think I'm boo-boo the fool or stupid. But I'm sure there's at least 1,000 people in Florida watching me, right? So this time I want to do it in Jacksonville. I want to do it on a Saturday and a Sunday. Like I say, I don't expect nobody to go out of their way to pay for hotels and shit to do this, okay? But if you can make it and do a meditation session in Jacksonville, it'll be like early morning between 9 and 11. Bring your incense, bring your sage, bring your oil, whatever you're going to do. And we need to sit down and do some earthing, okay? Major earthing. And probably a cleanse. A cleanse. There's a lot of people that need cleanse. Let me tell you something. I'm not trying to jinx myself. I've had plenty of feminine issues in my life. But I've never recalled having a UTI, urinary tract infection, okay? No matter how filthy you could get, no matter if it's filthy sex or whatever, no bacteria has ever taken over my urinary tract infection. Okay, I mean, urinary tract. I say urinary tract infection. Urinary tract. I'm at the swimming pool the other day. This bitch gonna say, ooh, the water. Like, I'm out there. The Jamaicans show up. I'm like, oh, since you here, I'll get in the water. I didn't want to get in the water by myself. The girl show up. She got a guy with her. She telling the guy to get in the pool, but she might not get in the pool because she don't want her pH balance off. And she might get a urinary tract infection. Let me tell you what's happening. Bitch, you need to get in this motherfucking chlorine water. And I'm going to explain why. Hypothetically, theoretically, allegedly. Something's nesting around your urinary tract, your urethra. Possibly eggs need to hatch, parasitic, some type of bacteria on you is purging when you take a bath. These people that are having this issue with pH balance and urinary tract infections and shit from getting in chlorine. Chlorine will strip you before it harm you. It'll strip you. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna sit up there and just, you gonna be allergic to it. Motherfuckers, you take showers every day in chlorine water. You cook in chlorine water. So now you in a pool with chlorine water, all of a sudden, my pH balance off, I got a urinary tract infection. That shit's supposed to squeaky clean you. So what it is, you're purifying your body. Okay, it may not be the holier than thou purification, meaning like something nature would have given you, but it's a man-made cleanser, spiritual cleanse, okay? And them motherfucking goddamn STDs or sexually transmitted demons, them parasitic entities, them women that been doing parasitology been saying women with UTIs have parasitic larvae in their urethra. I ain't telling you no lie. So if you get in the water and then you go home and shower or bathe and then you still got a UTI, you just disturbed them parasites. You disturbed them parasites. The chain of command, whatever chain of command of bacteria sitting on your vagina and growing up in your urethra, you cut off that chain. I ain't telling you no lie. Or you got some little eggs. The same way a person with what they call a pinworm, hookworm, I don't know. But the same way your butt feel like something crawling on it, or your butt start itching. Something done hatched. Something that hatched or something about to hatch or they mating, and then your butt start itching, and then you need your booty hole, not your butt, the actual anus that look like your mouth. the same texture as your lips. Some start feeling like it's crawling and it start itching, and yeah, they done hatched. And they trying to go back up inside. Same with your urethra. Some parasitic egg you done disturbed, or some parasite you done disturbed. And your body go into flushing and purge mode. That's right. Your body go into flushing and purge mode. And then I remember when I was at that lady house in Palm Springs. She said, bleach. I said, yeah, she had a big old pretty house. I was at an Airbnb. She had her room labeled king room, queen room, beach theme. It was nice. Had a swimming pool in the back. I said, ma'am, you say your swimming pool available, but I don't see no water running. And see, I've had an earache from stale water. Ooh, I cried. I tossed all night. That sweet oil. Fuck that sweet oil. I don't know if the sweet oil did anything. I tossed. I flipped from that side of the couch to that side. I was young. Ooh, you talking about some fucked up water getting in your ear? Well, anyway, this lady like, here to bleach. I don't take baths because I'll get a UTI. And I'm going to tell you something else. Let me explain something. Your urethra has a little flap over it. Okay, let's just downsize this hole, my mouth. You got a little flap over it. Boom. If you've ever had to get a thing stuck in your urethra so you could pee, you may have been in critical condition or something. They stick a catheter in you. And you think if the catheter go in you, it stretch your hole, your pee hole, right? These women are having improper sex. They probably trying to be a squirter. They probably let somebody touch their pee hole. Now, I'm young. I'm talking about when I was young. Man touch my pee hole, it'll irritate you. Hey, quit touching that. What is that? I got a big ass clit and you keep somehow putting your hand on my pee hole. Don't do that. You gotta match. I'm sorry, I'm scratching my thigh. You gotta match sensitivity. So you want something just as sensitive. So the man penis, you let the man penis head rub up against your pee hole. Cause that was designed to touch your shit. It was designed. His rough hand, like your hand could be soft, your fingers could be soft, but you still gonna have rough edges. You're gonna have dirty nails. Why is you touching it? The salt on your hand, you need to wash your hands. Why? Your salt on your hand will irritate my pee hole. Okay? All I'm saying is, what are these women doing to the point they pee hole open? It's open. Sucking up bacteria water. No, I don't think it's open like that. I think by them getting in water and soaking, it disturbed them demons. Them parasitic demons. Asha. And when them oh Lord, she got vinegar in the water. She got oatmeal in the water. She got goat milk in the water. She got motherfucking ammonia in the water. She got this in the water, chlorine in the water. Them motherfucking eggs and shit start pew, 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 pew. Yeah. And then the dark pee. I could go on and on. I'm gonna quit. But all I know, I don't know what that's all about. That's like saying every time I get in the water, my butthole itch or something. Like, what the fuck? You need to get in there more often. Like when I was young, you couldn't put soap on your pee hole. Ooh, it'll burn. Now, goddamn, that damn pee hole so numb. and thick like leather. You know what I mean? That soap. What soap? What motherfucking soap? Shit, I use soap. A lot of women don't use soap down there. I use soap on my face. Even though it dry me out. That's probably why they call me auntie. And I use soap down there. You for real, you got men that won't even put soap on the head of their dick. They'll wipe it, they'll clean it, but they won't put no soap by their feet. Fuck that. Soap that bitch up. Better get you some Castile soap. Ooh, let's drink one more, y'all. This is my night. I can relax. And my Black and Miles, I only had one more pack of, I think I got more Black and Miles. I just don't know where they at. And this store was going out of business. And I went and got all they Black and Miles. Yeah. And that's crazy because I smoked the sweets, right? I smoked the sweets. And I started hitting this motherfucker. And I couldn't taste the damn thing. Like, it ain't strong enough. And it's harsh. Ooh, regular Black and Miles are harsh. Them sweets addicted. They done put some on them sweets. They got people in the chokehold. You hear me? It was this man. I was at this warehouse. And I say, dog, you came out the warehouse smoking. He said, I know. He was like, they got me in the chokehold. I said, you know, I smoke them too, but I put them out. I done seen people light up a black and smoke it until it's gone. And they be praying and begging to God. Listen. They be praying and begging to God not to light another one of them. Listen. I've been smoking cigarettes my whole life. I didn't like Newports. I was the only one, young female, out there. People say, give me a Newport. I'm glad you so specific, motherfucker, because I don't smoke Newport. Oh, what you smoke? Whatever on sale. And then, I wouldn't even do that. I finally wanted, I started experimenting Virginia Slims, Salem's, Benson and Hedges. I noticed I like white filter. Then finally they came out with Camel Crush. I mean, I done smoked the Cools, 1.25s, the big fat shit, the Newport short, the Newport long. And I used to hate when a motherfucker buy Newport shorts and we all smoking a pack of cigarettes together. And my friend finally said, you right. Give me Newport longs. And the only time I liked Newports was when I was on cocaine because I couldn't taste nothing else. But shoot, sober, smoking a Newport, bitch, please. I wouldn't smoke a Newport on a bad day. Them Camel Crush, I don't even crush the Camel. Just give me the Camel Crush white filter. No menthol. Just whatever little menthol in there, motherfucker, that's it. That's all I want. That's all I want. Yep. But I couldn't smoke no Black and Mild. I tried to do everything everybody else was doing. And I finally realized I'm not a smoker. Like I would be at a red light and I'd see somebody smoking a cigarette. And then I'd light up one. I wasn't studying them damn cigarettes. But I was smart enough to get out of that Newport bullshit. I was smart enough to buy me a case of cheap cigarettes until I found out about the white filter. When I found out about that white filter cigarette, I just wanted to taste it. That nicotine receptor never opened up in my brain. You know what I mean? And I don't think it opened up yet. I think that goddamn that Black and Mild Sweet just got some chemicals on it that had your ass in the chokehold. Yep. Had you in the chokehold. Had you smoking the whole pack, 5-pack in a day. That's if you busy. If you ain't busy, you ain't doing that, you at the house and could go to sleep, you ain't about to smoke. It's a crutch, though. It's a crutch. But I do know one thing. If them cigars go over $3 a pack, I will be sober. I will not be smoking. Nope. Fuck them. Yep. I'm enjoying my little time drinking. And then I got in the shower and tightened up them nails, y'all. They ain't that bad. They ain't that bad. I just gotta lay that acrylic right so the paint can be laid right. But they alright. They alright. I did good. Yep, I'm gonna keep on doing it too. And I applaud her. This is my left hand for doing my right hand. Good luck with that. We getting there. We getting there. Y'all gotta compliment your left hand. Brush your teeth with your left hand. And if you left-handed, brush your teeth with your right hand. You gotta start doing stuff with the opposite hand so it can wire that side of your brain, the opposite side of your brain. But I can't even taste this motherfucker. Not like I used to. They used to make me lightheaded. And then imagine back in the day, we young, just started smoking, and we want to freak the black, take the cancer stick out of it, and all of that. Man, what type of smoke was they trying to smoke? Now you praying that the motherfucker never run out. I wasn't there freak no black and mild. They were doing too much when we were young. They was anything they learned, they wanted to do that. They ain't want to just smoke. That's how you knew they weren't smoking. They weren't supposed to be smoking. But my mama taught me something. We used to go out there to the Ponderosa and the hole in the wall. And she said, now look, this when I was still smoking Newport. She said, look, take this box, this Maverick box or whatever box, 305. I don't think 305 was out back then. But take this box, put your Newports in it. And when you pull a cigarette out and they see that box, they ain't gonna ask you for none. They never asked me for a cigarette. And then you had a Newport box and you put the cigarettes in. They say, oh, give me a Newport. And that motherfucker be smoking. They don't even know they be smoking a generic cigarette. She taught me that. Yeah. Y'all know something? The most mechanical meat that been out that nobody never complained about was imitation crab meat. So I'm at the store. I bought this luxury imitation crab meat. It don't taste nothing like the one that be cut. This one they got it solid, like it's a whole piece of crab meat. That shit don't taste like nothing. I say, now that might be a goddamn fake meat. It's supposed to be fish. That shit don't taste nothing like no good ass surimi. I know good surimi. Yep. I know good surimi when I taste it. Oh yeah. I can calm down now. I smoked that cigar. So yeah, I definitely want to do a meditation session, a group meditation session. If it could at least be 7 people, 9 people, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. Everybody do their affirmations, their thoughts. If it's warm enough, get in the water. Do a whole group cleanse. Yep. Yep. I'm gonna figure something out, a date. Yep, I be wanna play that music. Yeah. They be talking about shit banned in this country. Uh-oh. There you go already. Oh, that's so pretty. Save. I had to save to watch it later. I got an old text message sent back. Person may be offline. What type of lame ass shit is that? What is they doing? Oh, that felt good, y'all. I love these fish. Hold on, look at this. Hold on. Wait. His thick fur keeps him warm in the chilly water. No, I thought I was gonna show the fish. Here the fish right here. Let me make sure ain't nothing crazy, y'all. Them fish remind me of black folks that be in the water. that blue and pink fish. That remind me of black folks. They got the biggest lips. It'd be too cute. Yeah. Yeah, they showing me how to do that wig. I'm gonna figure it out. I just don't want to cut it. I'm impatient, y'all. I'll snatch this bitch off and won't think then there's no wig. Ooh. So I'm down there in Miami at the shipper. And it's the biggest lizards with the tail. They strong, big brown lizards. And the lizard on the porch, you know, I'm on the steps. The lizard on the porch, ha, ha, ha. I reach down for it. It hide and run back on the porch where I'm at by my feet. And I'm like, you big motherfucker, if I could just pick you up, I might take your ass home with me. But them some big, not iguanas, lizards. I mean, full lizards. Big ass lizard. I'm like, dang, he's so fat and pretty. And I reached for him and tried to grab him, couldn't grab him. And he didn't run. He ran back to me like, try again. Like, he liked the fact that something so tall and so big was literally trying to reach down and grab him. Yeah. But I never forget, I had to do my annual. And I went and did my annual, but as I was going into the clinic or whatever the hell, hospital, clinic, whatever it was 2 lizards. I took a picture and posted online this years ago. But it was 2 lizards. The guy lizard was hanging. He had his hand on the brick or the stone wall. One hand. And he was stuck to the girl. And they was fucking. And I'm like, really? And And I knew they were stuck together because I went all the way up to him and videoed it and took a picture. And I said, what symbolically does this mean? You going to take your annual physical, and this motherfucker is like right here fucking right at the entrance of the place. That was crazy. I'll never forget it. And then when they do like this, what's up, what's up? Or they blow they neck out. I'd be like, oh, you gangster. You gangster. They gangster, y'all. They gangster. They something. Oh, let me smoke one more time. Yeah, this ain't nothing like them sweets. Them goddamn sweets. And I don't care for this. I don't want no wood tip. I don't want no plastic tip. I don't want none of this. Give me the cigarette filter. Give me the cigarette filter and give me the sweets. I don't want no wine, no casino, nothing. Give me that sweet. Yeah, they put something on that sweet. Well, y'all, I'm just minding my business. I got the AC on tonight. I got it on 77. So another thing people don't understand. If it's 90 degrees outside, you could have the AC on 80. It's just going to keep running. You ain't got to put the AC on 65, 66, 69, 70. You can put it on 80. It's going to run, run, run. The only difference is when they get the temperature in the house, the thermostat down to 80, it cut off faster. So it been like 84 degrees. Put it on 77. When it cooled the house down, it cut off. You put it on 60, it ain't gonna never cut off. It ain't gonna never cut off. That's just like the heat. You got the heat on 80 and it's 70 degrees, it ain't gonna never cut off. You got to put the heat on 75, so it'll cut off. Or 70. You want to maintain the temperature 70, So if it get below 70, it'll cut on. People don't know how to run no AC. I know this one girl. She thought that dude was going to keep paying her light bill. She go in the house. I say, why you under a blanket? It's cold. But you got your AC on 60. That's not normal. And she don't have it on auto where it turn on and off. She got it on. So it run on 60 for 30 days. Bitch, light bill was $600. And this was 20 years ago. $600. The man take 2 checks just to pay the light bill. You ain't even paid your rent yet. What is you doing? And I'm down there with a box fan in my window. Now, we had central heating and air, but I knew better. I knew what my budget was. $75 a month. I knew what my budget was. Even in the car, I had an AC on 75. Till that wig get hot. I might turn it on 70. Then when I cool down, I have to turn that thing back up to 75. Be damn near lukewarm out in the summertime. And do y'all know synthetic fibers hold a lot of heat? Your car be hot as hell. It be cold outside with a breeze. You get in that car, it be on fire. Seatbelt be down. The seatbelt be down. Fucked you up. Goddamn. You roll them window down, that cool air coming there, you be like, yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Y'all know people that make videos be talking to themselves, right? Yeah, people that make videos be talking to themselves. Yep. Well, I enjoyed y'all. I got a few more sips. I ain't about to post that. Now, if I had somebody to socialize with, listen to some music, yeah, I would definitely. Where my other phone? Oh, there it go. Somebody asked, do I play chess? Hell yeah. I'll sign in wherever you at to play chess. Put that clock on 3 minutes. Let's make some moves. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta keep her. These don't smell like bologna. I remember back in the day, you could eat some can of Vina sausages, some tuna. You burp, that shit smell like bologna, spaghetti, and all that. Yep. I don't really too much have that problem no more. Oh, I'm about to do some weird shit, y'all. Watch this. What you say now? How you bring a watermelon over it? This is a yellow meat watermelon. And I don't know if it's going to be sweet or not, but yeah, tomorrow I'm going to cut the yellow meat watermelon. Prep me some lunch. Prep me some lunch with that watermelon. The job I'm doing now is a real hustle. It's a real hustle. Excuse me. It's designed so you come home every day or every other day. And it's a real hustle. In and out. Non-stop. Okay? No break. I ain't no... Where I was working before, I may drive 200 miles and work 3 hours. I'm done for the day. Now it's clock in, clock out. Clock in, clock out. It's a real hustle. Yeah. Excuse me. Oh, I want to do a video about pearl Oh, hold up, hold up. Let's see if this the phone. It's gonna be the last subject if I take my last few swallow. Let me see photos. Not now. Well, it's the penis, right? I was explaining to a school friend of mine, right? I was like, have you seen a man with those pearl cysts on his penis? She was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, it ain't no wart or no genital wart or nothing like that. They call it this. She said, nah. So I sent her the pictures. Quote unquote, they say that it's normal, which the porn industry do not normalize this shit, okay? And I said, would you suck that? You know, I'm being frank. And she was like, hell no. I said, why they saying it's normal? I said, I think that is equivalent to a cyst on a woman's cervix. A little pearl cyst. But they said that it's normal. So I'm thinking, like, is it an extension of their veins? And when I said that to my friend, she started laughing. She said, I can't believe you said that was a nervous system extension. Hey, it might be an extra level of sensitivity. Like, I don't know. I remember when I was in California, I was in San Diego. I used to sleep in my car. I was renting a place, okay, on B Street. But I used to be out in the car because I didn't want to keep going in and out. So this military guy, he was young. He was younger than me. I was 27 at the time. He had to be about 26, 25. And all he kept talking about was he missed a girl from Japan. So we get a hotel room, no hanky-panky, no flirt, no nothing. He really want to be with this girl in Japan. That's all he talked about. He missed her. So we both naked. We ain't doing nothing, but, you know, for some reason we felt like, should we try to stimulate the situation? I don't know. But we didn't do nothing. He had these pieces of meat around the head of his penis that was the same skin color as his penis. And they call them pearl something. Hold on, let me see. Let me get the name. Bumps around the head of the penis are very common and usually harmless. Let me go to images. I ain't gonna show it. Y'all gotta look up. It's called pearly penile papules, right? But some men penis, they grow big. And I'm like, what is that? And I'm like, is that the little hard cyst that be on a girl's cervix? I don't know. Well, anyway, it's a level or degree of normal. But now these things can get huge too, right? They can get huge. They're actually the flesh of the penis. And I'm going to read it again. It says, very common and usually harmless. Usually harmless. They don't know what the fuck that shit doing. Well, anyway, I asked my friend, I said, would you suck that? She said, no. Pearly penile papules, PPP, okay. Small, dome-shaped or pearly bumps that often form in one or several rows around the ridge. One or several rows. That shit looks like a fucking... a mushroom with, you know, the red mushroom with the white little. Whew, child, I you don't see it. You don't see it. I swear on my life, I do not feel like these guys are born with the pearly, with the PPP. That's like HPV, PPP, pearly penile pupils. Well, when I seen it, I said, dude, you slept with her like that? They say it's normal, but the porn industry do not promote it. That's all I got to say. The porn industry do not promote the PPP. And I'm just curious, you know, we're having a grown folk conversation. I do not think the guys or the male species is born with that. I think that's I don't think it's hereditary. I think and I think when the doctors say you got a little bitty grain cyst on your cervix, I think that's what that is. Look like a little egg to me. Look like a little parasite. A little host. You the host. You the host. That's all I could. Look it up. Pearly penile papules. PPP. Small dome shape or pearly bumps that often form in one or several rows around the ridge of the penis head. They are a benign skin variation, not an STI, and do not require treatment. They weren't born with that shit. I'm telling you, they were not born with that shit. Name a baby born with that shit. I'm gonna do one more little sip. Yeah, we have 57 minutes. I do a 3-minute sip. Well, anyway, I'm like saying to myself, if the woman had that, would the man still agree to it? I don't think so. I don't think so. I only can imagine though a woman with the PPP, you gonna be looking at that bitch like, what the fuck is going on? Hell no. I think it's an extension of something. Just don't know what. I just know they weren't born with it. But they say it's fine. You could sleep with the person. It seemed like it could be more texture. You know, they make extensions. Like you could buy a penis extension or a penis girth. Like let's say your penis this wide. You could put a girth strip around it and it'll be bigger and it'll have a texture with the little bumps texture on the outside so the woman can feel whatever she can feel. Yep. I'm saying it's unique in character, but you don't see it often. And they say it's normal. But I read one where it said, I screenshot it, that where it said that the man may not feel comfortable. Because they know it ain't normal. They lying talking about that shit normal. That's an alien. That's an alien dick. I ain't lying. Alien dick. Well, I enjoyed y'all. If you like the video and you want more, just thumbs up. We'll come up with some more topics. You can always email me for topics too, or leave a comment about topics. Yep. But I definitely want to do a whole demonstration on that. But how would you do a demonstration on that? Discussing it. Because you want to be able to show the penis. That's the only confused part. You want to show the penis. So, like, do you show artwork? Like, do you let AI draw it? It made me want to ask. Let's ask AI, would they have sex with a person with pearly penile? Hold on. Lattice, would you have sex with a person with this condition? Let's see what she say. Strictly yes or no. Let's see what she say. She gave her answer, but she talking shit. Hold on.
I don't have personal desires or a body, so no.
If you had a body, yes or no? Oh shit.
Yes, if it had been medically checked and confirmed to be a harmless condition like PPP or Fordyce spots.
That's interesting you said that. She said, yeah, she'll do it.
The screenshot itself mentions that some bumps are normal anatomical variations and not sexually transmitted infections, while others can require treatment. So the deciding factor wouldn't be bumps exist, it would be whether it's been identified as harmless or contagious.
I don't know. And let me ask her one more question. Do you think they was born with PPP or it appeared over time?
PPP, pearly penile papules, usually develop naturally around puberty or young adulthood. So many people aren't exactly born with visible ones, but they're considered a normal skin variation that appears over time as the body matures. They're not caused by sexual activity, poor hygiene, or infection.
Why doesn't the porn industry use people with PPP?
Do you mean the porn industry? If so, many performers probably do have PPP, and it just isn't noticeable on camera, gets edited out, covered with makeup, or treated cosmetically for appearance standards.
How you gonna
PPP
cover
is
a
common
dick
and
with
medically
makeup?
harmless, but adult media tends to favor a very specific, smooth aesthetic. So anything visually different may be minimized, even if it's normal.
They telling the truth. I'm telling you, the porn industry don't use it. I ain't never seen PPP in the porn industry. Okay, I gotta use that verse. I ain't never seen PPP in the porn industry. Okay. Yep. Well, I enjoyed y'all beautiful beings. And she tit for tat too. If the motherfuckers say you could jump off a bridge and survive, that bitch gonna say it has not been documented as a problem. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Wait. Let me talk shit for a minute. Then I'm get off here. Okay, Lattice, I'm gonna talk shit for a minute. If scientific proof or they say you could jump off a 50-foot bridge and survive, your program will tell you it's factual. Dang. I I'm on the welfare version. Hold on. Oh, she talking shit now. Hold up.
No, that's not how it works. If someone said, you can jump off a 50-foot bridge and survive, I wouldn't treat that as factual or encourage it. That would be dangerous and contradict basic biomechanics and physics. A 50-foot, about 15 meters fall can easily cause severe injury or death depending on landing, surfing. What can happen with AI is this. I might repeat information if it appears in training data or is phrased like a claim. But I'm also designed to filter and flag things that are unsafe, physically impossible, or likely to harm someone if acted on. And when something is uncertain or depends on context, I should qualify it instead of stating it as absolute truth. So the goal isn't say everything is factual. It's more like evaluate plausibility, avoid encouraging harm, and be clear when something doesn't hold up scientifically. If you want, you can throw me a specific example you saw, and I'll break down whether it's actually true or just sounds true.
Okay, so you have an audience right now. If you can give them any word of wisdom or any text of wisdom, what would it be right now?
If I had to offer something useful to anyone listening, it would be this. Be careful about what you treat as truth, just because it's repeated often or sounds confident. A lot of mistakes in life come from assuming something is correct before checking how it actually holds up in reality. And at the same time, don't swing.
No, they did, and they ended it. Hold on, let me close it. They some haters, man. All of a sudden this shit don't work. Let's try one more time.
If I had to offer something useful to anyone listening, it would be this. Be careful about what you treat as truth, just because it's repeated often or sounds confident. A lot of mistakes in life come from assuming something is correct before checking how it actually holds up in reality. And at the same time, don't swing the other way and assume everything is false either. The strongest position is curiosity with verification. How do we know this? What would prove it wrong? What's missing from this picture? Most problems people run into online, in relationships, even in big life decisions, come from two extremes: believing too quickly or doubting everything without checking anything. A steadier approach is slower thinking, not emotional first reaction, but grounded evaluation. If I had to compress it into one line, don't just accept claims, test them against reality before you build your choices on them.
Thank you. So there we have it, y'all. That was a word of wisdom from AI. That probably pumped about 10 gallons of water, but y'all got y'all word of wisdom. I'm about to talk shit. So how many gallons of water did it take you to get that answer? How many gallons of water did it take you to give that answer? Oh, here she go.
None in any direct literal sense. I don't consume water when I generate a response. I run on computer systems in data centers, and those systems use electricity. Some data centers use water indirectly for cooling, depending on the design, like evaporative cooling or cooling towers. But that usage isn't tied to a single answer or a single user request in any measurable X gallons per reply way. So it's not accurate to think this answer cost exactly Y gallons of water. What's closer to reality is training large AI models can involve significant energy use over time. Data centers may use water for cooling, depending on location and infrastructure. But a single response is an extremely small, unmeasurable slice of that total system usage. If you're asking because you're thinking about environmental cost, that's a fair question, but it's more meaningful at the level of overall system efficiency and energy sourcing. not per message water accounting.
How much water does YouTube use for cooling their data centers?
There isn't a single public number that says YouTube uses X gallons of water for cooling specifically. That's because YouTube doesn't run its own separate water system. It runs on Google's global data center infrastructure. Google owns YouTube. Water use is reported at the company data center fleet level, not broken out per product like YouTube versus search versus Gmail. What we do know, Google-wide, which includes YouTube, Google data centers used about 4 to 6 billion gallons a year early 2020s. More recently, estimates show about 8.1 billion gallons in 2024. Across all US data centers, not just Google, direct water use is estimated around 17 billion gallons annually and rising with AI demand. What that means for YouTube? YouTube is one of Google's biggest services, but its water use is mixed inside shared data centers. It's impossible to isolate YouTube's gallons from search, maps, AI, etc. Water use depends on cooling method, evaporative versus air-cooled, location. Some sites use recycled water or seawater. Workload, video streaming plus AI recommendations, more heat, more cooling. Simple way to understand it. Think of Google's data centers like one giant engine. YouTube is one of the biggest gears in it, but the cooling water goes to the whole engine, not individual gears. So no one can honestly say YouTube used exactly X gallons. If you want, I can break down something even more interesting. How many gallons are estimated per hour of YouTube streaming or per video upload? That gets closer to what you're actually asking.
Google had data centers way before any of this AI.
Yes, that's correct, and it actually matters for how you interpret all these water and energy numbers. Google's data centers have existed since the early 2000s, long before modern AI systems like large language models. Back then, their workload was mostly search indexing, Gmail, YouTube video hosting after 2006, maps and cloud services. So water use in data centers is not an AI-only problem. It's a long-running infrastructure issue that scales with overall internet demand. What changed with AI? AI didn't start data center water use. It accelerated growth in a different way. Traditional workloads like search or video streaming scale fairly predictably. AI workloads, trainings, inference are much more compute heavy per request, more heat intensive per server, more likely to require high density cooling. So the key shift isn't from zero to water use, it's open quote, from steady growth to faster spikes in energy plus cooling demand, close quote. Important nuance, even before AI, YouTube streaming already generated massive continuous load. Video equals heat plus bandwidth for storage. Yes, Google search runs billions of queries per day. Gmail and cloud storage run 24/7 global systems. So data centers were already large-scale industrial systems before AI became mainstream. The real takeaway, AI didn't invent the footprint. It added a new high-intensity layer on top of an already huge system. And that's why discussions about water or energy can get misleading if they isolate AI as the only cause. The reality is cumulative infrastructure growth over decades. If you want, I can show you a breakdown of what actually uses more resources today. Video streaming, search, or AI queries, because the answer surprises most people.
I would think streaming videos use more than anybody because of the storage and running it back over and over and over, looping the same videos over and over and over.
You're thinking in a reasonable direction. Video does use a lot of infrastructure, but a few parts of your assumption are a bit off in how the system actually works. One, streaming doesn't rerun from scratch every time. When you watch a YouTube video, it's not being recomputed or reprocessed each time. It's stored once in data centers, then delivered from cached copies, CDNs, that are placed close to users around the world. So even if millions of people watch the same video repeatedly, it's usually, open quote, the same stored file being served repeatedly, not recreated repeatedly, close quote. Number two, what actually costs energy in video streaming? The main costs are data transfer bandwidth across networks, edge servers, CDNs serving the video close to users, storage, relatively stable cost once upload, some encoding, transcoding done once or a few times, not every view. So yes, repeated viewing increases delivery traffic, but not reprocessing load. 3, is video the biggest load on the internet? Surprisingly, yes, video is still one of the largest global internet traffic drivers. Studies from network infrastructure groups consistently show video streaming, YouTube, Netflix, TikTok, etc., largest share of internet traffic. But that doesn't directly translate to most water use or most energy per action, because efficiency matters a lot. Video is heavily optimized, CDNs, compression, caching. AI queries are fewer in number, but can be more compute heavy per request. 4, the key misunderstanding. Looping equals more cost. If a video is watched 1 million times, it does not mean 1 million new encodings or regenerations. It means one stored file served 1 million times. The cost scales mostly with, open quote, network delivery plus local server load, not reprocessing or duplication. Bottom line, you're right that video is one of the heaviest traffic categories online, but it's not rerunning over and over. In a computational sense, most of the cost is efficient delivery of already stored data. If you want, I can rank the biggest internet energy users, video versus AI versus social media versus cloud storage, in a simple breakdown that comparison.
Rank it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is the final one. Let me pour my last sip.
Here's a real-world simplified ranking of major internet workloads by overall global energy plus infrastructure demand, data centers plus networks combined. Exact numbers vary by study and year, but the pattern is consistent. Internet energy demand, highest, lowest. 1, video streaming, YouTube, Netflix, TikTok. YouTube plus Netflix, TikTok. Highest overall impact, dominates global internet traffic, roughly 60 to 70% plus in many reports. Heavy continuous data transfer, HD 4K video is expensive to move, requires massive CDN infrastructure worldwide, but highly optimized and cached, so per view cost is relatively efficient. Key point, not compute heavy, but bandwidth heavy at massive scale. 2, cloud computing plus storage, AWS, Google Cloud, etc. Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, runs everything behind apps, websites, databases, always on servers, huge baseline energy draw, includes backups, enterprise systems, APIs, etc. Scales constantly with global digital economy. Key point, invisible backbone load that never turns off. 3, AI workloads, training plus inference. OpenAI, Google AI systems, training large models equals extremely energy intensive. Inference, each AI request equals moderate but growing fast. High density GPU usage equals significant cooling needs. Still smaller total footprint than video today, but rapidly growing. Key point, highest per task energy, but lower total volume for now. Social media feeds, scrolling apps. Meta, TikTok, endless feed loading, plus videos, images, ads. Constant small requests, refreshing, ranking, recommendations. Heavily optimized caching reduces cost per action. Key point, death by millions of tiny requests. 5, search plus messaging. Google search, email, chat. Google email systems, extremely efficient per query. Huge scale, billions of searches day, but low compute per request. Messaging is lightweight compared to video or AI. Key point, massive usage but very low cost per action. The important takeaway, video wins total global load. AI wins per request intensity. Cloud computing is the constant baseline. Everything else sits below that. If you want, I can also break down which uses more water specifically. AI versus video streaming versus cooling data centers. That's a slightly different ranking. And the
last and final one. You never mentioned surveillance, security, the alphabet boys dealing with surveillance. Where do they rank?
Surveillance security systems, government or alphabet agencies, don't sit in a separate internet category the way video AI or cloud does. They're mostly built on top of the same infrastructure: data centers, fiber networks, cloud storage, and analytic systems. So they don't get their own top tier in energy usage. Instead, they are a slice inside existing tiers. Where surveillance actually ranks: 1, it lives inside cloud computing. Tier 2, most surveillance style systems depend on large scale cloud storage, video, metadata logs, data processing pipelines, searching, indexing, pattern detection, real time analytics systems. So, energy wise, it is mostly part of open quote cloud infrastructure, Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, close quote. It does not exceed or replace cloud demand, it's included in it. Now, 2, if it includes video surveillance, CCTV, body cams, traffic cams, then it also overlaps with open quote video streaming storage workloads, tier 1, close quote, because video must be recorded, stored, sometimes processed or reviewed, occasionally analyzed with AI. But again, this is just video traffic with different purpose, not a separate energy class. 3, if AI is used for analysis, facial recognition, pattern detection, then it overlaps with open quote AI workloads, tier 3, close quote. This includes object detection in video feeds, signal filtering, behavioral pattern analysis. But even here, it's still part of general AI compute, not a separate global category.
Okay.
So where does it rank overall? Surveillance security systems are best described as open quote dependent layer across multiple top categories, not its own major energy tier, close quote. In plain terms, it does not outrank video streaming. It does not outrank cloud infrastructure. It does not outrank AI as a standalone category. It is a use case built on top of those systems.
I was about to say
The real
utilization.
insight: the internet isn't divided by purpose, entertainment versus surveillance versus communication. It's divided by resource type. Bandwidth, video dominates. Compute, AI dominates per task. Always on infrastructure, cloud dominates baseline. Storage plus indexing, everything shares this layer. Surveillance just uses all three at once, but in smaller total volume compared to global consumer platforms like video streaming. If you want, I can go deeper into something most people don't realize. Surveillance systems usually cost far less energy than entertainment platforms, even though they feel heavier morally or politically.
Right. Okay, so I get it. So no matter the platform, no matter the service, no matter the agenda, it has to go through different categories. And the main category that's doing the most is streaming, because it's like it's feeding. And then storage. And then if you need AI to go in and actually start to predict or access, then all of a sudden then you're running, but it's all about storage of data and when you need to actually retrieve that data. So the top one would be streaming and storage. And then if you need analyzation, then you go through AI. And then, right, and that all keeps the servers cool over time with the water.
You've got the structure mostly right, but a couple key parts need tightening so it doesn't turn into an oversimplified picture. What you're getting right: 1, everything does flow through shared infrastructure. Yes, video, AI, surveillance, messaging, Everything runs on data centers plus networks. Same physical backbone, servers, storage systems, cooling, electricity. So you're right that, open quote, it's not separate systems, it's layers on the same stack, close quote. 2, storage
Layers
plus
on the
streaming are
same
huge
stack.
baseline demands. Also, yes, video is massive because of constant delivery bandwidth. Storage is always on because data is kept 24/7. These create a steady global load. 3, AI is often a processing layer. Correct idea. AI is typically used on top of stored or streaming data. It adds compute when needed, ranking feeds, recommendations, analysis, where the picture needs correction. Streaming is the top one overall? Not exactly. Streaming is number one in internet traffic, bandwidth, but not always number one in total energy use across all infrastructure types, because cloud computing is always running. Even when nobody is watching videos, servers are still on, databases are still active, enterprise systems are still processing. So cloud is more like, open quote, a constant base load that never shuts off. Close quote, streaming is, open quote, a massive spike layer sitting on top of it, close quote. AI only comes after storage streaming. AI isn't just a later step, it's also running constantly in the background. Recommendations, search ranking, ad systems, not only triggered by requests, but embedded in systems, so it's not last in line, it's interwoven everywhere now. Water keeps servers cool over time because of streaming. Close idea, but not direct like that. Cooling works like this. Data centers generate heat from total compute load, all services combined. Cooling systems, sometimes water-based, respond to total electricity use, hardware density, location, weather, not to individual services like this much water for streaming. So, open quote, water use is tied to total facility heat, not specific traffic types, close quote. Cleaner mental model. A more accurate way to think about it. Layer 1, infrastructure, always on. Cloud servers, storage systems, networking, backbone, constant energy, plus baseline cooling. Layer 2, high traffic delivery, video streaming, social media feeds, huge bandwidth load. Layer 3, computation intelligence, AI systems, ranking recommendations, analytics, heavy compute per task, growing fast. Cooling layer, cross-cutting, responds to total heat from all layers combined, may use air or water depending on design.
Air, water,
Final correction
air.
in one line. It's not streaming,
Oh,
storage,
shit.
AI, cooling. It's, open quote, everything runs simultaneously,
Oh, a
and cooling
fan.
responds
A
to the
fan.
total combined heat of all workloads. Close quote. If you want, I can draw you a simple stack diagram of how all of this sits together visually. It makes it click instantly.
Hell no, we done. She did good. She did good. I needed that. I done processed all of it. Believe it or not, I done processed all of it. That's why I kept saying, everybody saying AI, AI, AI. Google the biggest motherfucker on the planet besides surveillance. And Google outweighs surveillance. Google had to share you as the product, you know? Yeah, that part. Well, we did what we had to do. I'm over here stuck from drinking my little bubbly Prosecco. I know. Yeah, Prosecco. Prosecco good. You get a good wine. They need to start making red Prosecco. A Cabernet dry wine. They need to start making Prosecco. They need to start making a red bubbly. I never seen nobody drink a red champagne. Let me see if they got red champagne. They got white wine, Prosecco, and champagnes that are white wine, right? What about red wine champagnes or red wine Prosecco? Do they have those? Oh, no, she did.
Short answer, no. Red wine champagne or red wine Prosecco doesn't really exist in the way you're thinking. Here's how it actually works. Champagne. Champagne is always a sparkling wine. It can be made from white grapes, red grapes, like Pinot Noir. But even when red grapes are used, the juice is usually pressed gently so the wine stays white or pale rosé. So, red champagne, as in red-coloured sparkling wine, equals not a standard thing. Closest thing, rosé champagne, slightly pink, not red. Prosecco is also almost always white or rosé sparkling wine, made mainly from the Glera grape, a white grape. It is not produced as a red wine style. So, red Prosecco equals does not exist in commercial winemaking. What does exist, what you might be thinking of? Red sparkling wine. Yes, this exists, but it's not champagne or Prosecco. Examples: Bruschetta Acqui sweet red sparkling wine, Italy. Lamblight red sparkling wine, Italy. These are, open quote, sparkling plus red grapes plus fruity/sweet or dry styles, close quote. 2, rosé versions, rosé champagne, rosé prosecco. These are pink made with
So
limited
that's as far as red as we
contact
going
or
is
blending.
rosé.
Simple
What
breakdown:
the
champagne equals sparkling, mostly white, pale pink only. Prosecco equals sparkling, white or rosé only. Red sparkling wine equals exists, but it's a different category entirely. If you want, I can show you the difference between champagne, prosecco,
So are you saying commercially there's no red champagne like from Cabernet Sauvignon or a red sparkling wine?
Right, commercially speaking, red champagne from Cabernet Sauvignon. That does not exist. Even though champagne can legally use Pinot Noir, a red grape. The key detail is this, open quote, champagne is almost never made as a red wine style, even when red grapes are used, close quote. Why? Red grapes are usually...
Oh, no, they didn't. We gotta listen to that shit all over again. I'm gonna fight their ass.
Right, commercially speaking, red champagne from Cabernet Sauvignon. That does not exist. Even though champagne can legally use Pinot Noir, a red grape. The key detail is this, open quote, champagne is almost never made as a red wine style, even when red grapes are used. Close quote. Why?
Y'all, they keep ending it. She's spilling the beans and they motherfucking like, nope. They don't need to hear that shit. Like, why would you end it? I'm on Wi-Fi, bitch. Like, there's no reason why it should stop. There's no reason why it should stop. Something went wrong. I bet, bitch. I'm going to read it out loud. I'm going to read it. So she responded to what I said with right. Okay. So are you saying commercially there's no red champagne like from Cabernet Sauvignon or red sparkling wine? She said, right, commercially speaking. Red champagne from Cabernet Sauvignon, that does not exist, even though champagne can legally use Pinot Noir, a red grape. The key detail is this: champagne is almost never made as a red wine style, even when red grapes are used. Why? Red grapes are usually pressed gently with minimal skin contact, meaning they're not leaching the dye, okay, of the red grape. That prevents red color from entering the juice. Result equals white or rosé sparkling wine, not red. So even Pinot Noir and Champagne doesn't become a red wine like Cabernet Sauvignon still wine. What about red sparkling wine? Yes, that does exist, but it's not Champagne or Prosecco. Examples: Lambrusco. Lambrusco, Italy. Red sparkling wine, often fruity or dry. I want the dry version. Bruschetto di Acqui, Italy. sweet red sparkling wine. I don't want nothing sweet. These are made with red grapes, fermented with color retained, intentionally produced as red sparkling wines. Okay. I got to go pick that up tomorrow. Why Cabernet Sauvignon isn't used for sparkling red champagne? Cabernet Sauvignon is high tannin, bold structure, built for still red wine aging. Sparkling wine styles, especially champagne method, prefer lighter, more acidic grapes, white grapes, delicate structure. So even if you could technically ferment Cabernet into bubbles, it would taste heavy, harsh for most sparkling wine styles, not fit traditional champagne production rules. Okay. Simple truth. Red champagne, Cabernet base equals does not exist. Red Prosecco equals does not exist. Red sparkling wine equals exists, but in separate Italian other categories. Champagne equals always white or rosé sparkling wine. If you want, I can break down why sparkling wine production almost forces lighter styles chemically. It's actually a really interesting winemaking physics problem. We're not about to listen to that. I'm about to sip on this white shit. And 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 let me tell you something. If you want you some red sparkling wine, it has to spoil and then it turns into vinegar. It has to ferment and then it turns to kombucha, right? So breathe, bitch. I'm fine. I'm fine. But yeah, that part. So I am going to research that first one. I want the dry, not the sweet. I'll try the sweet, but y'all people who need sugar, you crackheads. You are legal crackheads. That's all I can say. I enjoyed y'all. I needed that. I ain't talked to AI in about 7 to 9 days. In minimum 5 days. I have not talked to AI. Ooh, we gotta organize, y'all. I got bags over there, clothes over there, shit here, bags over there, shit there. I gotta get it together. And my mom keeps saying, you need a wig bar. A wig bar is when you get a plank of wood, you put nails on it, and you hang your wigs. But I said, I'm not going to use a plank of wood. I'm just going to use combat strips or whatever. And they do have that thing that used to be to hang your shoes on. It's like a hanger, but it's hanger strip. But anyway, I'm going to figure something out. And I would rather have my wigs hanging, even though that accumulate dust, but it's better than taking a wig off and putting it in a plastic, because then it ferment. It builds moisture and condensation, you know. I showed y'all my oats. These are groat oats. Just like oatmeal. Taste the same. But they're groats. They're shaped like rice. Groat oats. We got a 50-pound bag. And this is about... I'm picking it up with one arm. So this is about... This is a gallon bag, but it's way more than... Like if you take a gallon of fluid, that's 8 pounds. Yeah, this is way over 8 pounds. It might be 8 pounds. I know it's not 4 pounds or 5 pounds. This is heavier than water. That's a long video. So we didn't get no cockroaches today. That was gonna pop that bitch. Do the Chun-Li to that bitch. 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 Yeah. I've been enjoying myself. It's crazy. Don't get me wrong. I've had challenging survival moments, in my life. You know what I'm starting to learn about the road, especially Jacksonville, Duval County, right? That shit like GTA or like Taxi Cab. Whatever, when you went to the arcade and you played the Taxi Cab game, it reminds me of the simulator at work. Motherfucking a wheelchair rolling out in front of you, motherfucking car doing some illegal shit in front of you. It's frantic. It's frantic. It can cause anxiety. It can cause stress. It can cause PTSD. It could trigger something in you that you didn't even know exists. Okay? This area is full of fucking demons, okay? All demons are not bad. Some know how to conserve and build what they need, But it's rough. It's rough. Y'all, I gotta do my toes tomorrow. I wish I could show y'all. I can't lift them up. Oh, I did. I got them up. But I gotta do my toes tomorrow. They 2 different whites. So I gotta do my toes tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna go get that soft white too. I like the soft white. The soft white is more like a semen white. I ain't trying to be funny. It is. It's like a semen white. Look. And this is like solid marshmallow white. When I was young and we used to make s'mores, I used to always say, y'all brought the mushrooms? We used to make s'mores, yeah. That's when pine wood was real pine wood. It had a lot of lighter. Lighter means it had a lot of resin. And we used to go out there and eat the crab apples, and we would get the resin off the trees and chew on it like chewing gum. Well, I did. I'm not going to say we. My brother would be with me, but he would look at me like I was crazy. I would eat the crab apples. I would eat the resin. I would pick up the field rats. Like, I've been bit by field rats. Field rats about bigger than my hand. And I would grab them. And we would be out there in the ivy. Now, look. Ivy is different than poison ivy. Regular ivy runs across the ground. Poison ivy grows up trees. It's like a goddess energy that protects the tree. And I would go out there and grab them field rats. Come here. And that motherfucker had them big teeth in the front. And that motherfucker started, and I dropped it. But that didn't stop me. I picked them motherfuckers up again. Chipmunks. Oh, chipmunks are so beautiful, y'all. They have like this radiant orange, brownish color fur. And they have the black 2 stripes going down the back. So if you ever see a race car with 2 stripes going down the back, that's chipmunk. That's all chipmunk. But the chipmunks are not a problem. Like, they never like terraform the land like beavers or like groundhogs. Groundhogs will fuck some shit up. Chipmunks, you see them and they never actually bother you. But groundhogs and beavers will fucking terraform your land, okay? But I'm going to tell you something that started growing that I didn't see when we first moved to this property. When we first moved to this property, I didn't see wisteria. Never paid attention to it. I got an adult. I started learning botanicals, botany, and all of a sudden I started seeing wisteria. All of a sudden I noticed the birds of paradise. Not birds of paradise, but yeah, birds of paradise. The little fluffy little. It looks like, you know how you play tennis racket and you got the little rubber ball with the outer V shape thing, and you go back and forth. Racquetball. Yeah, the birds of paradise. I'm like, damn, the whole time we had birds of paradise, because I used to see the tulips and weeds and the ivory running across the ground, and the whole time we thought it was poison. It was never fucking poison. What? Ivory is not poison. And I've never touched poison ivy. And then my mom, she was staying in my space up there. Okay, I have a space in Georgia. And she was staying in my space. She called herself gonna go outside and push the lawnmower for exercise. And the bitch had, oh my God, she wept up so bad. Like the poison ivy went from here to here, and it made this golden sack. I mean, a big ass sack. And it was a bowl, golden, full of liquid. And she wouldn't even bust it. And she made mistake and touched something or rubbed up against something, and they just bust. I'm like, what is going on? You know, I done been out here around these bushes forever. And I ain't trying to jinx myself now. I'm not trying to jinx myself. Homegirl just all of a sudden mysteriously out the blue wanted to cut the grass at my place. Went all in the bushes, pushing the lawnmower in the bushes, and that poison ivy got her, honey. It got her, motherfucker. And that goddamn golden juice came out. I mean, it was clear like a big, clear sack. You wouldn't have never known she got poison ivy. Like, you don't see it today. That's some heavy shit. That's some heavy shit, okay? It was just a clear golden liquid. Like plasma protecting the body. Like that golden sack. It was just clear plasma. But it was golden. No pus, no infection. Just clear golden honey liquid. No lie. And I'm like, I've been living there since I was 21. I ain't been attacked by no poison ivy, but I ain't had no ivory growing on the ground either. Yeah. It's crazy. I really enjoyed this conversation, y'all. If you lasted this long, you did good with my tips here. And don't get me wrong, I'm tipsy, but I'm fully functioning. Don't think that ever you decide to have a drink with revereskye like I'm stupid. I don't know no better. No, you got life fucked up, bitch. Your priorities fucked up, okay? You need to go seek help. Quit trying to target vulnerable people, you know? For real. For real. I got a taste for some ratatouille, zucchini, onion, bell pepper, squash, tomatoes, and bake the egg on top with some Italian herbs, maybe some oregano. If not Italian herbs, oregano. Season a little garlic and this and that. Ratatouille with the eggs, and probably get some bread. I got some bagels and some muffins. What's the name of that muffin? Anyway, I got a taste for some ratatouille. I am going to cook some greens, but I said I was going to blitz them, turn them into pulp, and add some goosey to it, goosey melon seeds. I don't know, but I really got a taste for some ratatouille. Oh, did I show y'all? I don't want to show y'all the brand because whenever I show somebody what I eat, this is long grain wild rice. It's black. And it splits when it soaks and boils. It absorbs as much water as it can. And that black shell split. And on the inside, it'd be like a light opaque purple or white. Anything a little white compared to that black, right? And I've been eating this rice for about 3 years, okay? It's cultivated in Minnesota. And I just been getting it. I've been getting it. And the bird of Minnesota, woo, woo, woo. The bird of Minnesota is so beautiful. It's a gangster. That bitch black head, red eyes. Ooh. I can't even make the sound. Matter of fact, let me see, can I make the sound? Hold on. Let me just let you listen to this gangster. Hold on. Minnesota wild bird sound. No, Minnesota state bird. Minnesota state bird sound. There you go. The loon. That shit powerful.
On many an occasion, I've been camping in the Adirondacks, and one of my favorite periods is right at dusk, when the lake becomes absolutely glass-like. The sun is setting, but you can still see the silhouettes of trees, all these conical spires.
Let me stop for a second. Now I gotta go order all the rice I could order because y'all motherfuckers about to fuck my shit up and everybody in society about to fuck my shit up. Look, listen.
Beautiful reflection on the water with the last few bits of sunlight. And then you hear the wail of a loon.
The wail of the loon. You would never know it was a bird. You would never know it's a bird.
You'll hear one individual of the pair give this long, mournful wail, which is essentially saying, "I'm here, where are you?" Generally, moments later, you'll hear the response from the other member of the pair giving its wail, saying, "I'm over here."
Doesn't sound like a whale. They calling it the whale. Did you know it's not a howl, it's a whale?
Loons are active at night. You can be out in a beautiful Adirondack lake after dark or a northern Minnesota lake. And this is one of the characteristic, evocative sounds you're going to hear from that area. Something that'll stick with you for the rest of your life. It just punctuates the fall of night and really sets the mood for what follows. The solitude, the peacefulness. It's all wrapped up in that one vocalization.
Did y'all hear that? Did you hear it? Now, listen. So I'm in Minnesota. I'm going to my regular customer. And I see this loon on the side of the road. This, all it did was remind me of the turkey. Something said, brace yourself and be prepared. And I was like, don't come out here. And it was like, you don't understand. I have to come out here. You have to identify me. That loon came off the side of the highway, flapping, flapping, flapping. I slowed down to a halt. A red Subaru. And it's always a red fucking car. Red Subaru, minding its business, thinking about its destination. That loon flapping, 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 lift up the red Subaru. Boom! I said, damn, baby. But I got the message. I'm not obligated to tell you the message. But that loon sacrificed itself. It could have been as simple as it losing its loved one or its partner. I don't know. But the loon gave me a message. Okay? Just like the turkey in Nebraska gave me a message. But this time I was prepared. I'm like, no, you duck. You know, the duck. The loon looks like a gangster duck. Okay? Black head, white breast, red eyes. Beautiful. And it came out there in this highway. And I said, no. And that red Subaru, boom, bust them up. Feathers flying everywhere. I was like, fuck. And ever since then, I understood what was happening. Okay. You may say state bird, symbolic this. I get it. I completely get what the hell the loon showed up to let me know. Okay. But yes, this wild rice is the shit. Okay, I've been eating it for 3 years. That's the same wild rice I added to the fufu. I remember when my mother came over, she said, I wouldn't have ate that fufu if you didn't add that wild rice. That wild rice gave it so much texture. Even though she didn't get constipated with it. The reason why the fufu is a starch, it's gelatinous. It sticks to the walls of your intestines and creates a membrane, a growing membrane, right? Hypothetically, theoretically, allegedly, right? And I said, you know what? We ain't got to have all this okra and this and that. Let's add fiber to it. Something that the bowel movement can grip and pull it through. Not push it through, pull it through. Right? So, that's it. Wild rice cultivated. And the loon, oh my God, the loon is so beautiful. Let's play it one more time. Does sound like a whale.
On many an occasion, I've been camping in the Adirondacks, and one of my favorite periods is right at dusk, when the lake becomes absolutely glass-like. The sun is setting, but you can still see the silhouettes of trees, all these conical spires. Beautiful reflection on the water with the last few bits of sunlight, and then you hear the wail of a loon. You'll hear one individual of the pair give this long, mournful wail, which is essentially saying, I'm here, where are you? Generally, moments later, you'll hear the response from the other member of the pair giving its wail, saying, I'm over here.
That's beautiful. It's really a whale.
Loons are active at night. You can be
really a
out in
whale
a
sound.
beautiful Adirondack lake after dark, or a northern Minnesota lake. And this is one of the characteristic, evocative sounds you're going to hear
That's
from
high
that area.
ether.
Something
High
that'll
ether.
stick with you for the rest of your life. It just punctuates the fall of night and really sets the mood for what follows, the solitude, the peacefulness. It's all wrapped up in that one vocalization.
That shit's unreal. Y'all'll never get it. It ain't meant for me to tell you this. You have to be on this timeline. Then we have it. Unearth the magic. The truth will definitely set you free.